Hey guys, it's Sarah and today's video is going to be my top 10 products under $5. I promised you guys this video when I did my top 10 under 10, which I'll also leave linked below in case you missed it, but I just have so many great affordable products in my collection. I was going to do top 5 under 5 because that just sounds a little bit catchier than top 10 under 5. But there's no way I could narrow it down to 5. So we're doing top 10 under 5. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So one product, now naturally there are a handful of e.l.f. products in this video because e.l.f. is just one of those brands that makes a lot of products in that under $5 price range. And one that's actually a somewhat recent discovery for me is their moisturizing lipstick. Funnily enough, I actually discovered this formula when I got Flirty and Fabulous as just a gift with purchase, and I really fell in love with it. The shades I have are Flirty and Fabulous and Red Carpet, and I actually purchased Red Carpet after I saw my friend Rebecca Morgan wearing this on her, I think it was her Instagram stories. It looked like just the most perfect red color, and I'm always looking for the perfect red lipstick, so I love this formula because it really is true to the name. It's very moisturizing. And I feel like it's a great formula for bold colors like this because it's not so moisturizing that it's slippery, but it's also still really comfortable. It's a somewhat sheer formula, but you can build it up to be pretty much fully opaque. But I really do like having the option of it being a little bit more of a muted color. Really nice formula. I think these are $4. And, you know, I actually do think I had one of these a long time ago and I remember really liking it as well. I think the shade was Ravishing Rose. So I didn't just discover this, but I just rediscovered it, I guess you could say. Staying on the topic of lip products, another one of my favorites under $5 are the Jordana lip liners. They have their easyliner for lips, and then they also have their Draw the Line lip liner. And they look pretty much the same, and I thought that the Draw the Line was just replacing the easyliner, like I thought this was the new version. But when you look at their website, they still have both. And I think that the Draw the Line is like $1 more. This one's like $3 and these are $2, I think. So kind of odd to me, but either way, I think they're the same formula. At least to me, they feel the same, they look the same. I love the shade Rockin' Rose. This is just a really beautiful brownish dusty rose, but it's not too orangey brown. That is a problem that I sometimes have with more brown nude lip liners, like the Milani lip liner in Spice. I felt like was almost a little bit too much of a tomato sauce orangey brown. Does that make sense? But this one is just kind of dusty enough that it works on my skin tone. The other shade I have is Plush Plum, which is a much deeper kind of berry shade. It's a nice creamy formula, but it's not too creamy. You know, I feel like there's a fine line with lip liners because they really need to hold on to your lips and help kind of prolong the wear of your lip products. So they're like the best of both worlds. They're creamy, but they're still nice and long wearing, so just such a bargain. And the other shade I really love is Tawny, but I don't have that one in my collection right now. I am wearing Rockin' Rose on my lips right now along with another Jordana product I'll actually go ahead and share right now. This is another one of my top 10. This is just barely under $5. I think it's $4.99, so pushing it, but this is a newer discovery. I discovered this in my full face of Jordana video that I did like last week. This is their triple play all over color in the shade Spicy Rose. So this is the kind of thing I would normally use as a cream blush, but it is meant as kind of a multitasking stick. You can use it on your lips, on your eyes, your cheeks. So today I decided to try it on my lips. So this is what I have on my lips along with Rockin' Rose, and isn't that just the most beautiful brownish nude fall color? And it's funny because I don't normally love brown on me, like mid-toned browns are not really my thing, but I'm kind of digging this as a lip color. Probably because I've just been in such a fall mood recently, but it's also a beautiful cream blush, and that's what I've been wearing it for normally. It's not what I have on my cheeks right now. I actually have something else on, but I've been wearing this as a blush a ton ever since that video, and it's just really pretty. It is like Spicy Rose is a really accurate name for it because it's just ever so slightly brownish, and at first I almost thought it might be too dark for my cheeks, but it's actually perfect. It gives me just a really natural looking kind of sun-kissed look, and I also feel like this would be a perfect like fall and winter blush because it's just that nice kind of crisp fall kind of color. So speaking of blush, I actually have a lot of blushes in this video, but another one of my favorite cheek products are these e.l.f. bite-sized cheek duos. I have the shades Cantaloupe and Lychee. The one I'm wearing today, and definitely my favorite of the two, is Cantaloupe. This is like the orangey peach blush that I have been waiting for, because most peachy blushes I've learned recently are just a little bit too warm and orange for my skin, like a little bit too dark, but this one is a nice like pastel orangey peach, and it's so easy for me to pull off, even though I can't normally pull off really warm blushes. So I just think that is so pretty. That is what I have on today. I applied a very generous amount. Lately I can't get enough blush. Like, I will just sit there applying blush for like 5 minutes because it's just so fun. It really boosts my mood. Blush is just my jam lately, but Cantaloupe is my favorite. It's so unique. Like, I feel like you don't see this kind of color very often. And the highlighter in there is beautiful as well. I'm also wearing that on my cheeks today. It's a nice light peachy color. I feel like I've gotten a lot of use out of this since I got it, even though lately I've been more into cream blushes. This is the powder blush that I've been reaching for a lot recently. And then Lychee, or lychee, however you pronounce it, I think both are correct, I did look it up, is a slightly deeper mid-toned pink shade. And this shade, of course, is too dark for me to use as a highlight, which I wasn't really planning on using it for. I was hoping to use it more as a blush topper or mixed in with the matte shade. And so that's how I've been using it. Really pretty. And that way it almost is more like one of the Cover FX duos, whereas Cantaloupe is more of a blush and highlight duo. So really been enjoying both of those. These are $3. I was not disappointed at all. I will say, with the highlight in the Cantaloupe shade, you do have to be kind of careful. It can look a little textury if you apply too much of it. So I like to go in with a pretty light hand with that one because it's a pretty intense highlighter. All right, last blush product is the CoverGirl Cheekers blush in Natural Twinkle. This is like, I think it's like $3, $3.50, something around there. Really inexpensive. This is another really unique blush color. It's almost like a purpley mauve. Definitely don't have anything else like it in my collection. And this really grew on me last winter. For some reason before then, I really didn't like it. I felt like it was too sheer or something, but then I realized that I actually like sheer blush formulas because they don't make me look like a clown as easily. So I ended up really falling in love with this, and I feel like it's just the perfect fall and winter kind of berry mauve shade. Really pretty. The only thing is I don't really like the packaging. I don't like how narrow the pan is, but it's cheap enough that I am fine with that. A tool that I had to mention, this is absolutely a favorite. This is also, I think, $4.99, but you can almost always get it on sale. Like, I would recommend waiting for a good sale at Ulta. But the ecotools sponge, I feel like you either love this or you hate it. Like, some people don't like it. They say it's too firm. I disagree. I think it's the perfect level of firmness. It's not rock hard or anywhere near that. It's still quite soft. I do think you need to kind of break it in and use it 1 or 2 times to really get it to its prime. But I love this sponge. I feel like the density is perfect because it doesn't shear out the products I'm using too much. And what I really love about this is the shape. It has 2 flat sides. One is a little bit shorter and the other is longer. I usually use the longer side for foundation and then the shorter side for concealer, and just this nice corner that you get really helps you get a super precise application of concealer. You can really kind of get into those corners of your eyes, and I don't think I know of any sponges that have this shape, and there's just something about this shape that I love. And then you can use the other side for cream blush. There's something special about this sponge, and I feel like not enough people know about it. Another one of my favorite under $5 products, this is such a bargain. This is the e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder, and I think this is $3. It used to be $2. The packaging is so cheap, like just really garbage packaging, but the product itself is so nice. It's just a very basic translucent setting powder. Really nothing super special about it, but for the price you just can't beat it, and I feel like it gives my skin a little bit of a blurred effect that I really like. So I feel like you really don't need to spend a lot of money on a powder. Now, that being said, I'm really loving my new Hourglass ambient lighting powder that I finally tried. Very late to the party on that. I do really like that one. This one definitely is nowhere near that level But just a super basic everyday powder, I just can't get over the price. It's so nice and cheap, you know? So I think we are getting down to the last 3. These aren't ranked or anything. This isn't like a countdown. That would have been impossible because I feel like I love all of these so much. But I did need to mention the e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes because I use these every single day, and some of these I've had. This brush I've probably had for 7 years. Like it's been hanging around for a long time. This is their $1, I think it might be $2 now, eyeshadow brush, and it's just a flat shader brush. I use these, I actually have 2 of them now. I use these every day just for my lid shade, and I just cannot believe how long they've lasted. I do have to say I like the older one a little bit better than the newer one. I just feel like the older one has a little bit more taper to it, and so it picks up more product that way, but they're both great, and it's $2. And then their crease brushes, I have their regular crease brush, their detail crease brush, and their fluffy eye blender brush. So the fluffy one, this is the newest one to me, and I've been using it nonstop ever since I got it a few months ago, but it's just perfect for laying down your transition shade, or kind of like, I always say like starting out your crease with like a light-ish matte color. Perfect for that. Also perfect for just blending everything out when you're done. I love that one. And then the crease brush and the detail crease brush are a little bit smaller, and if you have, even if you don't have small eyes, but if you have a hard time placing your eyeshadow where you want it, slightly smaller crease brushes are so helpful because they give you a good blend, but you're not gonna end up with eyeshadow like all the way out to your temples, which if you're like me, that happens to me all the time because I just get too excited with my eyeshadows. But these are so helpful. They give me a little bit more control. I've had these for like 2 years at least, and they are still holding up really well. I think that, no, the ferrule hasn't come loose on either one. That does happen with some e.l.f. brushes. I just love their brushes. I've been using them for years, and there's nothing wrong with them. Okay, I had to mention the e.l.f. Bite-Sized Eyeshadow Quad in Rose Water. This has been one of my favorite products of 2020. One thing though is that the darkest shade in here has actually started to crumble a little bit, so I'm not sure what to do about that. I may need to, it's only crumbled like in the corner, so I don't know what happened there, but it's making a mess, so I need to be careful with that. But beautiful quad. I've already talked about this so much on my channel, but this is what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and it's just the mauves in here. This matte shade is so perfect. It's just slightly deeper than my skin tone. It's just the perfect dusty mauve. I feel like I need to come up with some other words than mauve because I use mauve way too often, but it's almost like a dusty lavender, but a little bit more rosy. So mauve. See, mauve is just the perfect word to describe this type of color. But anyway, that is just such a great crease shade. It's so blendable. The shimmers are really buttery. That dark shade is great for deepening, although it is super, super pigmented. Yeah, I really don't need to say much else about this because I've already talked it to death, but it's $3. And lastly, I wanted to mention the ColourPop pressed powder shadows. I've been talking recently about how I haven't been quite as into magnetic singles as I used to be, but I still love these, and I recently did a palette bingo where I used these alongside my Miss Bliss palette, and I had so much fun. It really inspired me to use these more often. I think I'm gonna start creating like little quads out of these to use every month or so, just to kind of re-inspire myself. But I do think that magnetic singles are a great way to kind of supplement your collection, fill in any color gaps when you don't want to buy like a full palette and you just need some specific colors. I think it's a great way to do that. And some of these, a few of these are Makeup Geek, but most of these are ColourPop. Some of my favorite shades are Wait For It, which is that peach color, Tiki, the yellow. A lot of these though I think have been discontinued. They're always discontinuing shades and then adding new shades that look really similar to the old ones that they discontinued, so I don't know. But the peach, the yellow, Paper Tiger is really pretty, mustard, Glass Bull is really beautiful, Howlin' and Prowlin', those two pastel purples. They've just got so many great colors, and I think they're $4.50 each. They used to be $4 each, so they did raise the price, but I mean, it's still super affordable, and if you wait for a sale, you can get them for even less. So I still love those. I think I was actually looking at my last top 5 under 5 video, which was like 2 years ago, and I included those in that video as well, but I still love them, so I had to include them again. But those are my top 10 under 5. I love sharing those like hidden drugstore gems. Some of these are more well-known than others, like the bite-sized quad from e.l.f. Everybody knows about that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I'll link my top 10 under 10 down below in case you missed that one, along with my whole drugstore playlist. Please make sure to subscribe. I'd love to see you again soon, and hopefully I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.